outstanding fucking bounce
Yeah,
back
what the Bears is a top 4 user, top 3 to 5 user in the NFC. You don't got nothing to hang your head on. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it was just I could have ran myself out of the game. He had zone drops to the moon, so I just was trying to throw, literally just kept trying to like throw against that shit. It was one of those games. I had some people drop some open passes though too on some first game jitter shit, but it is what it is.
Yeah, if you go drop it early, bro.
Oh
You got
yeah.
some new toys, you know what I'm saying?
I always like to drop them early. I have better seasons, honestly, when I drop a game or two in the first 5 than like later in the year, honestly. Get that shit out the way. Get that shit out the way. Fields don't like losing. I don't like losing. I'm finna get in the lab now if Ant don't need me. He might need me for the real talk. Shoguns used to. Oh, you're not in the office. It's 7 o'clock. I was about to ask Shoguns to come out.
Say what, bro?
I was about to ask if you were still working.
Suicide is a motherfucking suicide. Suicide is a suicide.
Yo, Ed, he responded, bro?
To a suicide, it's a motherfucking suicide.
There. My boy Fields does not like losing.
Suicide, it's a suicide.
Yo, Ed.
What's up, kid?
He respond to you?
Nah, Brian didn't even reach out, my bad. I'm doing it right now. Suicide, it's a suicide. Yo, my boy. Alright, wait for him. As soon as he hit me back, I'll let you know, fuck. Alright, Mrs. Goodell. What's up with you? What Nano say? Go put Israel on your quarterback. Nah, he gonna turn his name back. He gonna put his name back to Najee Israel and he gonna deal with it. Simple as that. I mean, it ain't like he changed him just because. He maybe changed him to be an asshole, but I do think I said it a couple times on the Real Talk yesterday. Like, fuck that, I'm changing his name. So because I said it, probably gave him the idea to do it. But I didn't do it. At the end of the day, it's real draft. Those 20-year-olds come out, they're real players. That's their draft class. Those kids will be, whether it's basketball, football, some of these kids will really be going, you know, having an opportunity for that type of shit. So with that being said, he's a real player. He has to change his name back. He gonna do like that. Yeah. It's all good though. Motherfucker changed his name. I mean, part of me glad he changed his name out there throwing 4 picks with him and shit, benching him. Yeah, fucking graveyard. Yeah, that fucking graveyard spot. You get. He just responded, fuck, I'm about to see if he playing you. Yeah, fuck, he's putting the new equipment in right now, bro. He got new shit. He's putting it in right now. All right, so we back, draft report, man. This is one of my favorite segments of Real Talk when we get out of right through 5 a game. Oh my God, it's terrible. Damn, 4 of them things? Yeah, he's terrible. This is my favorite part of doing Real Talks, bro. Draft recap. I love looking at teams and the direction they went in the draft, in the off season, what their teams look like coming back into the next season. You know, some guys don't do too much movement around. They keep their same pieces together. A lot of guys lose players that they can't afford. And then you got the guys that love to change their team through drafts. And you got the guys that completely change their team with a couple of pieces and they really take advantage of the draft, and guys that just don't know what the fuck they doing. It's all over the place. I mean, that's what a 32-man league is about, right? Guys do what they want when they want. Simple as that, right? Yesterday's Real Talk, our topic was the top 10 players. Did I do 15 or top 10 guns?
We did the top 15.
Top 15 players that came out of the draft and where they went, right? Nah, we did top 10. I ain't go to 15. We did 10. I stopped at remember we stopped at the Bengals because had that long ass conversation about the Bengals situation.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yes, sir. So we did top 10 players that came out the draft, picks 1 through 10. And a lot of the conversation was stuck on 1 and 2, where what the Patriots did and going to go get Najee Israel, when everybody thought that, most people thought I would have got my own damn son. I was trying. Don't think I didn't want my son. As we go back to that, we got to get back to that because this is going to be a part of the conversation where you see, damn, 4 picks, ha, laughing out loud, changing names, all that shit, right? So the whole thing is we had the number 1 pick in the draft. We didn't go get the guy that we should have got. We was told, go get your player. You always go get the player you want, right? But strategy-wise, we felt as though nobody in the top 10 needed a quarterback, which they didn't. Nobody in the top 10 needed a quarterback. And if I traded my backup quarterback, Malik Willis, right before we got to the draft, so we left with Lamar Jackson, a 31-year-old Lamar Jackson. So at this point, with the team I got, really, we were really solid. We keep all those pieces together. But we did trade some things or move things around to get to that number 1 pick. So usually when you do that, you weaken yourself. You got to replace that stuff. So yes, it was like lined up for the Ravens to go get the second coming of Lamar Jackson actually out of the draft, and they didn't pick him first. It's similar to the Ravens in 2018 when they came back down into the from the second round to the first and traded with the Eagles to get Lamar Jackson at the back of the draft. Well, it was kind of similar to that. If things went the way it was supposed to go, he got sunshine, but he was being a dickhead. Like he was mad. He was mad I had the number 1 pick. He thought he had the number 1 pick. I was supposed to trade with him to get his number 1 pick. I didn't, because when I asked him for the trade weeks before we got into the playoffs, he really gave me a brush off answer, like, yeah, I'll holler at you. So we were supposed to work something out, but we just never talked again. And then it got too close. I started talking to the Steelers. I seen he had the number 2 pick, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go there. We made the deal got approved. And then right before the draft, we realized that was the number 1 pick, so it kind of worked out for me anyway. And in that situation, you go get the person you want. But we just knew nobody in the top 10 needed a quarterback. Everybody pretty much had their quarterback set. So I thought I could pick a position that I traded. I traded 2 safeties and a corner and a defensive end. So I had to get back to those players to be able to get roster fillers, backups, maybe possibly a starter, right? So in that situation, we went safety first. Now, we knew in the top 10 nobody else needed a quarterback, so we knew we could come back at 11, because we sat at 1 and 11 to get that quarterback, right? And it didn't go that way. And that's what happens when you take that type of gamble, because I had the number 1 pick, so if I really wanted my son at quarterback, I go get him. Simple as that. But we thought we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We thought we can get the player we wanted, and then get the player we wanted all in the same within the first 11 picks, right? And it didn't go that way. And the person that got him didn't get him because he wanted to play with him. He got him because he was mad. There's no way around it. So you fucked yourself. You had sunshine that you just gave up the house for the couple seasons ago at quarterback to go to be they'll put another quarterback on your roster just to be, I know he's gonna want his son. Fuck it, I'm taking him now. Fuck it. So you take him and you put yourself in the situation. So now it's conversation. So it's newsworthy. You know how you can't turn YouTube on without seeing the media talking about Lamar Jackson in some way? Well, that's what Harold Burgess did. So he should love this attention, because it's gonna be the most attention he's gonna get in the season right now. We never talk about him that much. I love Hillberg, that's my guy. But he do dickhead shit at times, right? So being a dickhead just fucked him. And then you can't go ahead and trade him. And then the next move he does is he trade him to somebody else, rather than me, right? And it's the same thing. Right now, you just fucked that little boy's career up. So you better enjoy this. Well, your son ain't gonna be shit in this league. You know what I'm talking about, fuck? That's what he better enjoy. Well, at least I'll fuck his son's career up, because he in a graveyard right now, because he ain't gonna do shit but throw 3 to 5 picks every game. I called it yesterday, so. But anyway, that's how the conversation started yesterday, and then today his name got changed. So I'm not mad at him for changing his name, because I did hint at that. I talked about it a lot in my anger yesterday on the Real Talk. Fuck that, I'm changing his name. You're not playing my son name. But I know it's Real Draft. We don't change names over here. So the storyline is, the coach didn't get his kid. Simple as that. You know what I mean? And now the Patriots have to deal with that decision. Simple as that. They gotta deal with it. Now he can GM his ass off, or find a way to GM and get out of it, and somebody else can come want to play with that type of quarterback. Good luck. So, and at the end of the day, it works out for me, because I already settled in on that I don't have him now. So we move forward right away, right? That don't mean I'm not going to be the media side of it and talk about it. So the entire situation of this season is going to always fall back down to the Patriots with the number 2 pick, what they didn't get and what they did get. And every time what they got don't work out, it's going to be, he's an idiot. He's an idiot, he's an idiot, he's an idiot. And we're going to talk about him. But guess what? My viewers are going to know who Hillberg is this season, because we're going to talk about him a lot as long as that quarterback is over there, right?
Did he play his first game?
Yeah, he threw 3 picks and sat him down.
Did you go to the stats? Can you go to the stats, please?
Yeah, he threw 3 picks and sat him down. Right, go to it right now. So let's go see the number 1 quarterback off the board's first debut.
But you also got to do the background and let them know what quarterback he's sitting down now. What kind of quarterback he's sitting down now?
All right, so before I go to the stat line, let's talk about that, because somebody did say that. Wait, didn't he get sunshine? All right, so let's go over here to the Patriots real fast. He said he played him the whole game. Yeah, he beat the shit out of him. Chiefs beat the shit out of him. He played him the whole game. Do shit. All right, so here we go. So a couple seasons ago, I would say two drafts ago. So we had last year's draft. He didn't participate in that. The draft before that, though, the Patriots had the number 1 pick. They had the worst record in the league. They had the number 1 pick. What they did was they made this mega trade and got a top 5 corner and a top 2 to 3 quarterback in the league in Trevor Lawrence from the Raiders. So the Raiders sent Trevor Lawrence to the Patriots. So the one thing, let's really break it down. So the one piece that the Patriots was missing was a quarterback, right? And a running back, but they had a receiver and Anthony Schwartz, who's been a top 3 to 5 receiver the entire distance. The one bright spot about Hillberger's plan in Real Draft this year was that he took Anthony Schwartz from 2021 draft and he made him one of the best receivers in the league, and did it at a high level. Now the last season he didn't play. But every season up to that, he's been balling with Anthony Schwartz, right? And Anthony Schwartz is kind of like DeAndre Hopkins. He never had, he played with too many quarterbacks. So you finally go get him the quarterback that you need. But to get that quarterback, you had to give up a couple of draft picks, and part of those draft picks was the number 1 pick and a future first, future second. So you gave up your whole draft. The year he took off, that he didn't participate in the draft, he didn't really have no picks to participate in it, because he gave it all up to get those 2 players. And the main player in that trade was Trevor Lawrence, right? So you would think, going into your 3rd season with Trevor Lawrence, since you missed all last year, pretty much Tank played a couple games and didn't play, you got one of the better quarterbacks in the league with Trevor Lawrence, right? So for you to go, you know what, I'm changing his name back, bro. You're not just going to keep having me looking at no Big Allen Jr. Who the fuck is that? Deal with it, kid. You took him, you're going to play with him. That shit sucks because both of my sons went to graveyard spots. Ha! Fuck that. Goodell. Mrs. Goodell, Julian is playing for the Buffalo Bills, your bros team. Oh, shit. She's fine over that. You got crazy. Oh, my God. Both of my kids is on teams in the AFC East right now, the Bills and the Patriots. All right, so back to the Patriots. All right, so Trevor Lawrence comes over to the. Let's look at it. Look at the numbers. Trevor Lawrence comes over from the Raiders. With 4, I know you allowed that shit to happen. I did not. She mad at me again. So she remember last year. I mean Game of Thrones. I had drafted Julian and Najee, and I traded you to Hitta, and she killed me the whole year over that. You gonna trade your son, my son, to motherfucking to Hitta and shit. But Hitta had him shitting though. So this year I could have got him at 11. But I didn't. I knew Hitta wanted to play with him again, so I didn't. You know, I figured Hitta would get him. But then your bro took him. Mike took him. Now I talked to Mike the day before we played our game. He didn't even know who he was. He was like, I ain't know that. I'm like, are you sure? Yeah, I ain't know that. I'm gonna go with his word. He ain't know it. But you know, I was sitting there for Hitta to take, or I would have just took him at 11. And again, 2 people that I could have took at 11, I didn't, and because that happened, they're playing where they're at right now. But that's the player of the draft. If you don't get your player when you see him there, and you try to play that he'll be there game, that's the luck of the draw. Maybe you might win a couple like that, but it's never guaranteed. And Falky, how many times you told me yesterday, go get him, bro, stop playing?
I told you several times, but we talked about it. Your logic was sound though. We went through it, and you know I told you the beginning, but then you said, "Nah, wait, this is why who really need a quarterback right now."
Right. Now Najee Israel, the quarterback situation, you can see why I didn't draft him number 1. If nobody needed a quarterback, and if Harold Burgers wasn't just trying to stick it to me and be a dickhead towards me, he don't get him there either, right? So I would better get him at 11. Now, as far as my son Julian, he should have been a top 5 pick. Period. There's no way he should even went to. Now Mike got him at 15.
Real talk, though, Mike should have got Earl Lewis.
Yeah, Mike should have got the others. He shouldn't even have got Julian. He should have got Earl Lewis, or should he have?
Yeah, he should have got Earl Lewis. Earl Lewis was there when Mike picked.
Yeah, but watch the one I'm going to show you. We went over Earl Lewis. Julian is better than Earl. Faster than him. The only thing is Earl is 6'6". Man, Julian 95 speed, 95 excel, and 97 hit power.
Oh shit! Oh yeah.
X factor. So he got the better linebacker at 15. I just didn't talk about it as much yesterday on Real Talk because I was pissed off, and I didn't go over the top 15 picks. I only did the first 10. So this is the best linebacker in the draft right here. Mike got him. After playing 1 game, let's see what he did. He had 2 assisted tackles, 2 tackles to start his career off with. But he's on a team. But and at the end of the day, Mike get mad. I don't care fuck what he's saying. He's in the graveyard spot. You got a guy that, you know, you can't get. My kids ain't gonna have endorsement deals and all that shit playing for teams that win 4 games a year.
Right, man.
My whole family is in the AFC Easy right now. I gotta stop this shit. This shit's uncommon. But but he did get. I mean, this is a hell of a pick for Mike. It's just that, you know, I might need Julian Jones. Yeah. I mean, and I left the Israel off his name because I didn't want nobody. That's why I left the Israel off his name. Now it's fucked up. I should have just put it there. But it's usually you'll see him as Julian Jones Israel, right? And I left the Israel part off. Because of that, I didn't want nobody just snag him thinking, I wanted to see it play out. And honestly, Mike drafted him, and this is a hell of a pick for Mike. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's just not a hell of a situation. First of all, my son got playing that dumbass, cold ass Buffalo, upstate New York. The marketing ain't good, all that shit. He's not in a good situation. So we're gonna fire his agent. Trust that. We don't want him around no more. He's out of there. They had to do some type of shit over there. Both their agents is getting fired. They both got the same agent. I should have let their mom do it, but we didn't. So where they are right now. Who knows? Maybe they can turn it around a little bit. Maybe they can be playoff teams this year. Not with the Jets over there and the Dolphins looking like they looking. All right, so let's get back to the quarterback situation. So you go back to the Patriots roster, and they got Trevor Lawrence, right? Now, Falk, let's talk about realness. If you invest all the shit you did, if you invest all the stuff you did to go get Trevor Lawrence, right? Don't you guys see that play out for a little bit?
Yeah. Gotta see it play out. You got to.
I mean, he gave out multiple picks for Trevor Lawrence. Like,
yo, can they hear me? Make sure they can hear me. My mic on?
I don't know. I'm about to see right now. Can y'all hear Falk? Say something.
Yo.
Yeah, you good.
All
right. So with that being said, Trevor Lawrence got the raw deal of this stick. Got the raw deal of this. If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm asking for immediate trade papers. Send me the fuck somewhere else. The problem is this: he could put Trevor Lawrence on the block, and he'll be on the block until the league is over. Nobody's gonna come get Trevor Lawrence. They don't need a quarterback. Nobody's gonna come get him. So you're stuck with this situation. So when you decide to be an asshole, you have to understand what you're really doing. You gotta understand. Now, the one person that's not gonna give a fuck about this decision will be Hero Burgers. He don't give a fuck. Like he in his head he won. I stuck it to the commissioner. Simple as that. Blue as shit. That's all I care about, right? But he's going to get a lot of attention this year because I'm going to talk about every week we advance. I'm going to talk about, we're going to follow what this kid is doing and why Trevor Lawrence should be the starting quarterback over here, and he's wasting his time with him. Even if you trade him, it's still going to be a conversation because now you got to fill the pieces out. So then you don't, you know what I mean? So much stuff that can go. But Trevor Lawrence, let's look at what he did in his time with the Patriots. So he's on his third season with him, right? Now, coming off of the Las Vegas, these are all Super Bowl years. 1, 2, 3, 4. He won 4 in a row, Falk, right? Then you won, then he came back and got 5 and 6, right?
Yeah.
So all 4 of these years, Trevor Lawrence won a Super Bowl. Year 1, 2, 3, and 4, Trevor Lawrence was a Super Bowl winning quarterback with 5,000 yards every year and more than 50 touchdowns every year except year 1, right? 71 to 22, 56 to 24, 63 to 23. T did a really good job with him. 79, 40 here, and then he became a New England Patriot. The yards stayed there, but the touchdowns went down. 39 through 63 picks. Last year, 27 through 48 picks, right? And that's the thing. He's throwing way more picks than touchdowns now. So what makes you think the recipe of a new quarterback is going to change anything like that? You already have a rapport with Trevor Lawrence with your receivers right now. You finally got one of the top 3-5 receivers in the league in sports, a true quarterback, and in 2 seasons you already making him play with another quarterback. So this guy is really the DeAndre Hopkins of our league. He said, okay, question. Tell me this. So Trevor is unlocked on X Factor and he did that with him. Fine. Now he goes to a rookie not unlocked. Just gone. Wait for the rest to come back up. Yeah, that's a lot of work. You got to play with a rookie that's not unlocked. That's going to, I mean, it's not going. Well, let's ask Brandon. Brandon played in the game. Brandon, comment on her. How was the rookie quarterback against in y'all game where you beat him 62 to like 12 or some shit? And then, all right, let's talk about the most controversial pick of RDL and quarterback Najee Israel in his first appearance. 71.5 QB rating, Falk. 216 yards. All right. Yes. And then can you make sure they label still? 215 yards, 16 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. He was sacked once. He had 22 14 completions for 22. I'm not mad at that, and 63%. We're not mad at that. But but the 3 picks is mind-boggling. Then you got a dual threat quarterback on a level of Lamar Jackson, and he had no attempts rushing the ball. And I called that yesterday. I said that's not his style. He's wasted. He picked up a quarterback that he really don't need because he's not going to run him. So again, let's read what Brandon said. Brandon said he didn't do nothing with him. He didn't try to run the ball with him at all. So again, it's a waste. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so we'll see. So I'm gonna follow this all year. So this is one of them situations where you got a good quarterback in the wrong system. Simple as that. So again, when we say graveyard spots, trust we know what we're talking about, bro. And at the end of the day, he could have been playing with that 6'5" safety on X Factor that the Titans got at number 2 and changed his whole team around. He already had his quarterback. Instead, he go get all stars out of the draft. Then you got the number 2 pick in every round and you don't land nothing. I mean, the Chiefs had the steal of the draft too. In the 4th round at pick 13, the Chiefs drafted a 6'8" D tackle, 350 pounds with 85 speed, 85 excel, superstar X factor. While all y'all was drafting wide receivers wide receivers and corners. This guy goes and get one of the steals of the draft as well. I don't get it. Guys had double picks in every round, and no shout out to this. Not shout out. I said this earlier. I'm just standing on it. The guys had double picks and still didn't hit like that. Like niggas hit on superstars because I put a whole lot of them because we had the last 2 seasons of RDL before 22 dropped. So you put those type of players in the draft on purpose so guys can play with them right away, right? And we did that, and guys missed. It was a lot of missing yesterday. Again, no lineman went outside of a computer picking a lineman and maybe one player picking a lineman. I didn't see an offensive lineman go into the 3rd round. Once again. And it was guys that could have used some. I seen some stud DNs go late. Panthers got a superstar X Factor late. It was like 3 or 4 of them in the draft, and this is what happened. So when you don't really, you know what I mean, like when your attitude is fuck it, I'm gonna make you mad, and you don't fix your team, that's on you. Simple as that. What you think about it, Falk?
I just think people just need their own swag, man. Whatever that swag is, you know, I mean, building your team is what you want to build it, but you got to do it to make sense. You know, so you got to get the positions you need to make you a contender. And if you already got an X Factor quarterback that's not even 27, and you know only got 2 years left, why are you getting a quarterback that you're going to take all season to unlock him and get him right? I just don't get it. You know,
And that's the key word. 2 seasons left. Trevor Lawrence is the ideal quarterback to play with. Do you go get a rookie that we know you're not going to get unlocked until what, about week 12, 13, somewhere around there, Falk? That's a whole season of you playing with a guy with 2 abilities. Because when they lock, they only got 2 abilities. I mean, matter of fact, when they lock, they don't have the ability at all, right? So he's gonna be playing with no abilities until week about 13, 14. So yeah, it's wrong. Even now, I don't care. You made the decision, deal with it. But for God's sake, if you want to do anything in your division this year, make the playoffs in your last 2 trying. Be a man and play your seasons out and really get off of this trolling shit and play real football. Put Trevor Lawrence in the game, bro. Make him your starting quarterback. Don't put yourself in that situation. Not everybody can bring in a rookie quarterback and go bonkers and get to a playoff or win a Super Bowl with. You have to be a highly top tier player to do shit like that. So I will advise him to play Trevor Lawrence, bro. And even if you want to be a dickhead, send him to somebody else, bro, or something, or just keep him on your team.
Some people, man. And you know, I'm using this quote from Batman and shit, The Dark Knight. Some people they don't want to get better. You know, The Dark Knight, they said, some people just, you know, ain't no good or evil. They just want to see the world burn.
Right.
And some people in the league, they just want to be assholes. And you know, I got guys that literally said, like, I'm cool with being the 7th seed every year. Literally said that. I came out their mouth, like they're literally comfortable with being the 7th seed. And you can't say I ain't with the playoffs. Like, what are you playing? You play to win the game.
You play to win, bro. It's a
Play to win the
mentality,
game.
bro.
But
And if you go,
that ain't everybody, bro. Some people just a hobby for them, and they just in the league. But you know, they feel like, you know, like right now, Phil Burgers, if he listening, he probably get the kick out of this shit.
well, he about to
He
get
get the
the.
kick.
I mean, at the end of the day, me, when you bad press is great press for a person like him.
Yeah, he
And,
getting the kick out of this shit. You know, because he that tight. He that tight to say, yeah, yeah. See, I fuck with the big dog. They mad at me. Look how they talk about me.
mhm.
See, so some people again, they just like to see the world burn. But then you know, when it comes to it, like, is his goal to be a good player in the league, or just to be a league filler? And I think we need to start focusing on that, man. We need to start focusing on the guys that's trending, that want to be great. You know, the Nanos, the Colts, the Rams. Or we gotta start focusing on the league fillers, man. Some guys just here to be in the league, bro. They don't want to get no better. They don't want to get no worse, but they don't want to get no better. We need to
And
focus on them, man.
I mean,
We need to shed light on that shit.
and you're 100% right there because I spoke this up last night and I was saying we was talking about the AFC and I was like, guys got to start paying attention to Shoguns and the Jets right now. They really like, you got to think about it. His last two playoff appearances, his last three playoff appearances, his exits was exits in the fourth quarter. Like he had opportunities to beat top tier guys to get us knocked out of wild card rounds. I mean, he took you to the wire twice, took me to the wire last playoffs, and just beat Boone. Now, granted, Boone's just coming back, and I'm quite sure Boone played him thinking this is the Shoguns. I'll score 8 touchdown passes on a game.
He ain't thinking it no more.
Didn't play him no mind, and now the AFC is crazy right now. It's really good. And we just lost the best player, you know, the most winningest player in our league this year. He's done for the disc until 22 drop while he's at football camp. And I think that made the AFC that much more crazier. All right, you lose a guy that, you know, we all couldn't beat him, right? You lose a guy like that, and we lose a top guy in the league, top dog in the AFC, and I think the competition in the AFC is about to rise even higher for the next 2 seasons, and especially in that AFC West. If the guys in that AFC West, like the Chiefs and the Broncos got to get his mindset off of playing for the 7th seed all year long. And the Chiefs and the Broncos should be chopping their bits. Then they put you in a situation where, honestly, let's just be real. You're either gonna be playing for the 1st or 2nd seed every year. That changes everything, right? And now you got guys like Shoguns who's taking the top guys to fourth quarters and only down by a score or a couple points and shit like that. He got better, and I'm gonna stay on that trip. Let's stay in the AFC East for a second. Who else wants to be over there? Now, the Dolphins, we have no idea who's this guy, right? But he came in and he won the games he had to win to be able to win the division last year and make it to the playoffs. So we know with Coach Black having the Dolphins, he was always a playoff contender every year. Can the Dolphins' new coach be that way? I don't know. We don't know enough about him yet, but he did make the playoffs and he took that team over when they had 6 losses. Right, so you're over there. You know, Mike builds a hell of a football team, but Mike can't get over the coaching hump. Mike can't get over understanding how to play the football game and video game. He can't put both of them together yet to better get over that hump. So Mike's highlights of his league, of the leagues, are him winning 6 games, him winning all those games he won last year. But the competition is there for him to even win in that division as well because the team is there. I think the Jets are the face of that division right now. They have the better team and they're playing the better football. At one point every year we were seeing somebody different over there win that division, and then it'd be starting to become the Dolphins and the Jets division, right? So now you're in a situation where if I'm Hillburgers, you took a season off, you back now. You got to put your team back together to be able to compete with your division. And right now you have the worst team in that division right now. So what do you do to change it? Well, you had an entire draft to do it this draft. You had every one of your picks, and all those picks was the number 2 pick of the draft. So if we go through your teams, and to me, your team needs was on defense, and it was at the linebacker level, and it was at the safety level. So you go get the fastest, strong safety in the draft, Jamie White, at 6'1", 201 pounds. Now remember, we have a sub linebacker weight requirement to be able to get moved down there. So you know this 6'1" guy has to sit back deep. 86 overall, Falk, 6'1", 201 pounds, 94 speed, 95 excel. Some would say that's a win. Nice pick, right? 94 speed. He got 86 zone right now, 75 tackling, 89 pursuit, 85 hit power. He's not a thumper. 73 man, 76 awareness. The guy can he's going to be a speed guy that can cover. But we all know he's not going no farther than a star, and that's a problem at this point in this league. The fact that you don't get yourself a superstar when guys was picking and picks 20 and 26 in every round and got better traded and players better than you. So you do get the safety. Would you say this? That safety that I just read off to you is that that's a good pick. I'm not mad at the pick, but how much better does it make him knowing he ain't gonna be on ability? You know how much abilities affect the game.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It affects it big time.
All right. Now, he only got 3 corners on his roster. At this point, 3 seasons ago, we were screaming you need 4 corners in this league, right?
Right, yeah.
All right, so he only got 3 of those. At the free safety spot, he got 2. One of them should be at corner. Like, even at the safety spot, the bull, Devon Harris is a corner that he moved to safety or something, and that he doesn't belong there because he's 93 speed. So you have no sub package safeties that you could pip down. And then on the other side of it, you got good speed at safety, but 88 overall, 86. So what do you do with that, right? Especially playing man-to-man. Now, Mikael Wright, William Poole III, and Tony Grimes all are really good shutdown corners. If you look at their man-to-mans, 99, 96, 96. Even their zones. One got 95, the guy that came from the Raiders, but the guys he had to build, they're built uneven. There's no way you should have a corner looking like this. 96 man, 84 zone. 96 man, 82 zone. We're not building our players, right? That's just not knowing how to build your players right. Then you get to the linebacker spot. You still got Jordy Brooks, 30 years old. You didn't upgrade there. 87 speed, 89 excel. That's not going to cut it. Your backup is a 66 overall. At middle linebacker, you're playing with a kid in the second season, Danielle Martin. No traits on him. 86 speed, 89 excel. The year before that, the computer drafted Nafua Tukulamaka. 86, he do got 91 speed, 91 excel, even 92 hit power. Pretty solid guy, 86 overall. But again, he's on star. Then you go to your other linebacker position. You got Kenneth Murray Jr., who was built from the Chargers, that you had since. He's 29 years old, solid guy. You draft Brad Osborne, 91 speed, 91 excel. He's on star. 88 hit power. So you got, you know what I mean, you did address the linebacker position, but there's no superstars here really. So in that situation, you got a bunch of players that, like, if I play Hillburgers, I know I'm winning a running back and tight end matchup all game with this guy, because he can't match up when nobody's running back or tight ends. They not gonna cover him. You know that, right, Falk? Am I wrong? Am I saying something wrong here? And you had the second pick in every round to address that. Didn't do it. You look at the D line. You pick up Max Crosby out of free agency. He's 31 years old. Do he play the same for Hillburgers as he played for the Raiders?
Nope. Nope.
You got Tyree West.
He might get 5 sacks in the season.
You got Tyree West, who's superstar. Now it depends on what you're doing with these guys, right? So Tyree West, you know what I mean, you got 2 superstar D tackles. Maybe move Max Crosby back to the DN because you really don't got a good DN. You got Miles Murphy from Clemson, 90 speed, 95 excel, that you got from free agency. This is another player that he got from free agency. So you tried to fix that. That's fine. I like him. I think he can be a good player for you. But then on the left end, I'm not looking at nobody that's worth anything over there. So now you still got holes all over your defense. And then you look at your right tackle. You're good. Let's look. You got 1 superstar lineman. You got 2 superstar linemen, 3 superstar linemen out of 5. And at this point, most guys got 5, right? So you could address that. It was a million linemen in this draft that was on superstar, and you didn't get one of them, right? At tight end, I love the tight end pick. When you look at tight ends that came out, the Washington football team got the #1 tight end. Chuck Spencer came out the higher overall tight end out of all of them. Now, 85 speed, 85 excel. He does have 92 special catch. He can be a receiver for you, but this guy is here because he is a hell of a blocker. He is the best blocking tight end in the draft. This was a hell of a pick for him. But the problem is this. Does he run a football? You need him to block? Not at all. So you kind of was backwards in picking this guy. Again, when you look at the blocking, look at the passing blocking and all that, finesse 80s. You see a lot of 80s all over the place, right? So that's really good. That's why he's so high. Look at the pass blocking. You got really good blocking for him, right? But we're not looking at a guy that give his running backs 100 carries or more a year at all. So now you got an extra lineman now because you can't use him, and then he ain't running by nobody secondary. It's linebackers in the league on every team faster than his tight end. So where's the separation? I don't know. It was a good pick, great pick, 90 overall. But how does he help the New England Patriots? You know, with a rookie quarterback you starting, even Trevor Lawrence, if he was a starter, how does he help Trevor Lawrence? Then we go to the run game, and you drafted a really good running back a couple drafts ago. But what are you doing with that running back, right? At the wide receiver position, I'm still a fan of Anthony Schwartz. He even had his my player playing at a high level. Vic Allen started to play well. He picked up Terry McLaurin out of free agency. And, you know, when a lot of these guys, you look at 3 to 4 good superstar wide receivers when they really only get used one. So a lot of it just be roster dressing, right? Am I wrong when I say that? You don't see too many guys that got 4 superstar receivers using 4 superstar receivers.
You don't. You can't. All of them can't reach their max potential because it just ain't enough ball to go around. Is the Titans in watching the broadcast?
I doubt it. He remember he had to get the modem and all that replaced, bro. He just texted me saying he set all that. He's sitting getting it all set up right now.
I get it, but you know, like we'll talk about a real talk over. I don't got all day.
That's how I feel. Mike got on this bitch rushing the shit out of me, and I'm like, bro, I'm already playing on your time. You don't chill out. Now, yeah. I'm gonna give him a blessing here because Derrick Henry at fullback and he on superstar, but he's 34 years old, and that's another thing. I'm gonna leave his team alone. But a lot of you guys got these 30-year-olds running around here, 29 and 30 years old and more, that still got abilities on them that I didn't take off. And I take them off so the rookies can unlock, right? But I'm going to leave Derrick Henry alone for him because at this point, I've been talking about his team too much. If I touch anything like that, that'll be the narrative. You taking my guys away from me. That'll be the narrative. I just had to move a 197-pound running back from fullback back to fucking tailback over here because he had him at fullback. Like little shit like that. These things that we know, you ain't supposed to be doing, but you did it. So I moved him back, Israel Benakinda, whatever the fuck his name is. But you got Travion Cooley here, who's in his 3rd season. He's still only 86 overall. He was one of the top running backs that came out of the draft 2 years ago. Now, you picked up Puka Williams in free agency, and you got Javion Hawkins, which was Boone's running back from year 1 with good speed, but he came out with 95 speed. He ain't get no better, 95, 96, and he only on star. So it's too much, not too much you're going to get here. And then at the quarterback position, you got 3 really good quarterbacks over here with Trevor Lawrence. Even Davis Mills been a dog in this league at one point. So you go get another quarterback. He got Trevor Lawrence, Davis Mills. He traded for Davis Mills and Trevor Lawrence in the same draft. So he had no drafts no draft picks coming back into the next year. And then you still go get a quarterback. And you can't tell me you didn't get that quarterback just to be an asshole. I keep harping on this, but even if he said,
y'all point out the fuckery, man.
Yeah, because he texted me and said you drafted the guy I wanted. And before the draft, he texted me, you got the first pick. You're supposed to trade with me. Yeah, at 5, he was better. At 5, the Texans got the 6'5" dude, Sony Styles, superstar X Factor, at 6'5" with 95 speed, 95 excel. But the problem is, when he looked at the board and looked at the draft class, he saw Tion Pitts was first and everything, and he ignored the fact that the 6'5" guy was better. In fact, I took Tion thinking he would want to rather have the 6'5" guy back there. For all that, I would have got the guy I really wanted, which was the 6'5" guy. I really wanted Sony Styles.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, you can't use that excuse. Oh, you took my guy. So fuck that. I'm taking your son because I know you want him, right? You can't do that because you text me way before the draft mad that I didn't trade players with you. I mean, trade my players for you and get your pick, right? You was mad at that. So it looked to you, it looked like I was shady. It looked like I gave you a forced win so the Steelers can get the #1 pick, but that's not how it went. And the way some people paint narratives, you can't change their opinion of it. So no matter what I've said to him in our conversation yesterday before the draft, in his head, oh, you traded with the Steelers and made sure they got the #1 pick. That's not what I did, because if I was at 1 or 2, it didn't matter. Because even if I was at 2, I still get the 6'5" safety if you got Tion. Doesn't matter. They both. It was 6, 7 safeties in this draft that were top 15 picks. That could have went in the top 15. It was at least 4 of them that could have been top 10 guys, right? So no matter what. So you literally picked that quarterback to be an asshole and missed out on shit you really could have got if you was just focused on, all right, that's the draft. If I got somebody in mind, this is what happens. Fuck, he picked them. All right, have your contingency plan ready. And I had mine ready because I took the gamble at 1, not picking the guy I really wanted, which was to bring my son in and walk him in slowly this year behind Lamar Jackson, where he'll be playing in every game, but he wouldn't have been a starter, to be able to take over for 31-year-old Lamar, right? But you got a guy that you got to force to play now because you forced yourself to be a dickhead. So again, when you talk about the AFC East, I don't think the Patriots have one of the better rosters over here. So I'll leave that, and we'll go to the Bills roster. And we already talked about what he did with his first pick. And his first pick, he went and got the linebacker. Julian, he got my other son, Julian Jones. My bad. Let me get to his roster and get to the age group real fast. So he picks up 20-year-old Julian Jones. They picked up a rookie fullback. No, he picked up a rookie running back and turned into a fullback. I don't understand why these guys don't. Like, Mike knows the rules. Why he got a 200-pound fucking running back at fullback? Like, what are we doing over here? Oh, yeah, we're going to do a heavy roster check this tonight, bro. All right, so with that being said, Branson Robinson's not there. Let's go look at the rookies he got. Free safety Tyler Hartwell. So Mike gets a safety at 6'4", 199 pounds. On trait, I got to see if he won here. Did he get a superstar? Star. Now, can Mike afford to get a star? Yes. Let's go look at his safeties. All right, it doesn't hurt him to get a star when you got Kyle Hamilton running around here on Universal, and then Cliff Horsey, Champ Horsey, that's a dog as well that been over here rotting away. Then at free safety, you got Jordan Battle already on X Factor. So having a Tyler Hartwell is just to fill your roster up, and you got a 6'4" guy with 92 speed, 91 acceleration. Got to get some work in man his own 78. So that's another player. So at corner, did he have to go any more corners? No, he didn't. He's loaded with 4 of them right now. So all 4 of these corners are on abilities, and he can run around with your offense. He traded for JOK a couple of drafts ago. Then he comes back and picks up Julian Jones. Now, at 15, you pick the best player available at times, and I think this is one of those situations. But Mike can fit this in here because look at it. Ready? You got JOK. That's fine. I'm quite sure he'll play right outside linebacker for you. Julian Jones comes in as a right outside linebacker, but could play anywhere on that linebacker spot. Micah Parsons is still here. Trevin Wallace, in my opinion, should both of these guys be at middle linebacker? Yes. Then you get to the left outside linebacker, and you got Cade Stover, who has really good speed, but he's on no trait. So you got a space for Julian Jones now. So now you drafted the guy that comes in with this type of talent, and he's immediately starting right away at left outside linebacker for you. Already a 92 overall, 81 tackling, 97 hit power, 95 speed, 95 excel, 87 block share, 87 finesse, 76 power moves, 92 pursuit. Ideal. He is a pass rusher outside linebacker. Julian Jones is a beast. No, but I need a lighter. Both of them don't work. Now, at 6'5", Julian Jones could be an outside linebacker that can rush the quarterback. He could apply pressure and play in a run game. We saw that with his stats, right? Outside of that, he has 90 agility, so you're not going to better do much with him. And he has 90 man right now. 95 jump, 90 press, 95 toughness. You know, all of them get that. But he also has 90 zones. So right now, this guy can cover anybody with the best of them. Your running back and tight ends are not taking advantage of him, and he can even hold down himself playing in the hard flat or playing purple zones, right? This guy is an animal at outside linebacker because he can do everything. So this was a hell of a pick right there. This is how you get better. Right here, that right there. So you get a guy that comes in to start day one for you, and he played against me. Only had 2 tackles, but he played, and he played really well. He kept the edges a lot. A lot of his plays showed up that he made plays, but he wasn't the guy making an actual play. He just stopped us from doing some things other people helped out. So I can see that being a good situation for him. Keep it moving. From the linebacker position, let's go look at D tackle. He's still good there. Joshua Kandoa is an underrated defensive end. He's a really good defensive end. I know when I played him, he averaged 2 sacks a game against me. He picked up Tyquan Carney that I never see the field at all at 67 overall. Let's go look at the left end. You got Tyreek Sapp, who's good. You got Tyrese Fearby, good backup speed rusher. And you picked up Marco Chambers, another player that's just a roster filler that he should be on your practice squad. He shouldn't even be on your roster at all, bringing your value down like that. At right tackle, you got a 99 overall player with no ability, right? At right guard, you got Abraham Lucas, ability, good backup. At center, you got ability, 91 overall, solid. Left guard, you got a superstar there, Wesley Campbell. Good player, no ability, right? Chester Coles, the rookie. He played in the game, but he got hurt in our game, so he didn't finish the game. But I'm quite sure this is a superstar player, and he should get, if he is superstar, he should cut the, he should be starting right away. You bring him in as a starter ASAP, and you can play him anywhere on the line. And in that left tackle, you got superstar. So now you got 1, 2, 3, 4 superstars that go along that line. So 4 out of 5 of your offensive linemen are superstars. That help you out with a lot of these superstar D linemen running around, right? Great. Not mad at that. Good pick. At tight end, Michael Myers has been the lead tight end over here. He got good speed with Glenn Collins. So if he really wanted to use 2 tight ends, he could. At the wide receiver position, he traded for Henry Ruggs last year. Again, he got a bunch of receivers over here that a lot of them really not going to get no play. But I'm not mad at him picking up Racing McMath. He had a hell of a season for the Bucs last year. The Bucs had him for 1 season and didn't re-sign him. So you go get a really good superstar receiver over here. You got Abdul Fattah Abraham, however you want to call it, from the HBCU school that gave Jackson State a hell of a run for their money. He was the best wide receiver in black college football, right? You got him, and you got this rookie down here, Javon Wakefield, with really good speed, good special catching. But again, bunch of players that you just picked them up, I guess, because you had the capital to do it. But you're not going to better use these guys. He on star, maybe a kick return special teams guy with this guy. Now, but me, I'm going to play Elijah Moore at the number 3. Henry Ruggs is going to be my 2, and Racey McMath is going to be my 3. So that got Sage Surratt on superstar. Maybe you can still play him too. I don't know how you do it, but again, I don't think their offense is built to use all these receivers. So this is just again, decorating your roster to be able to have it right now. If I'm somebody that need receivers, I'm coming to this roster right now, and I'm coming to pluck somebody away from them. Fullback, he moved Will Disley there, and at running back, he's really good. Kenny Gainwell, we know at one point he was catching 100 receptions a season. So he got a guy he can throw the ball to out the backfield that he really don't need to use. Somebody could come trade for this guy if you needed him. But Chris Tyree was an animal for him for 2 seasons straight. Then he drafted Branson Robinson. And this guy doesn't fall off the first contact at all. At all. 8 carries, 4 broken tackles. He don't fall at all, right? So here's your workhorse in the backfield. You got to find a way to split runs between these 2 guys, Chris Tyree and Robinson. And then at the quarterback spot, you got Casey Thompson, who's filled in and is playing. Since he had Casey Thompson, he's won more games every year. Now, I love Mike's roster. It's not the roster that holds him from making the playoffs. It's the coaching. Simple as that. And until the coaching get better, that roster ain't gonna help you out. In case in point, when I get to the Jets, I'll explain how both of them go hand in hand. But with this roster that I'm looking at, this is a really good roster, but I don't know if it's the best roster in the AFC East. Let's go to the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins didn't do much with this team. Everything was built off of Coach Black. Eric Mahoney's been playing. He's been a playoff quarterback every year, dual threat. We know Hanif Anderson is a top 5 running back in this league. They got a solid-ass backup in Nicholas Singleton from Penn State, good size. At wide receiver, Jamar Chase has been playing at a high level. While Black had him for at least the last 3 seasons he was playing with him, he had him playing in that top 10 area as a receiver, right? Frank Darby never panned out. Corey Palmer is still young. We didn't really get to see much out of him yet, but you got a really good dog. He's from Camden, New Jersey, so you know he's an animal. But let's see how they get used. They go pick up Addison Oakley, a rookie wide receiver with 95 speed, 95 excel. I like this pickup because I just think it's time to move on from Frank Darby because he's done nothing for the Dolphins even with Black at the coach. And Frank Darby was a top receiver in this draft. This guy's never cracked the 1,000-yard mark here. He's never had more than 8 touchdowns for this team. His best year was 2025, 48 catches, 694, and 8 touchdowns. So it's over with for Frank Darby. You lost your window to get him any better. So it's pretty much good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. So with that being said, you bring in that third receiver, Chase, Palmer, and Addison Oakley is a perfect slot receiver for you. So I like this pickup. If I see if he got a superstar or not. Bam, that's a fucking win. The Dolphins got themselves a superstar receiver that fits the slot perfect for this team, especially with that run game. With Hanif Anderson, now you got a better weapon. So now you got 3 dogs at receiver. I like it. Let's see what else they did. At the tight end, solid at tight end. They picked up Jason Zimmerman, 81 overall. He's on trait. I don't know what type of trait he's on, but we'll see. Superstar. Now, I don't know where the Dolphins picked, but last time I checked, they was in the playoffs. Am I correct there, Falky?
Yeah, Dolphins made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs, so their picks wasn't early. Again, remember I said this. You had guys that had the top. Again, the Patriots had the number 2 pick in every round and didn't land a superstar. Only superstar I seen him land was the quarterback, a position he didn't need. Well, I just looked at 2 draft picks from the Dolphins, and both of them are superstars. Right, so this and now a lot of that stuff is luck, getting the right player. Is a guaranteed way you can tell if you're getting that type of player or not. A lot of guys still don't know that. But let's take a look at where he picked him at. That's what round did he get him? 4th round, pick 23, superstar at tight end. Let's look at the wide receiver. 3rd round, pick 23, superstar. I seen guys pick two receivers in the 1st round and ain't even get a superstar. Again, luck of the draw sometimes, but why? He can get him in the 3rd round because he's 5'11". Nobody's checking for that type of receiver. He's too small. Well, he just picked up a great slot receiver for himself, and the best receiver in the league is only 5'11". So that height shit is out the door sometimes. Right, 95 speed, 95 excel, 93 special catch. This guy's serious. He could be a good slot receiver for you. And that's just 2 picks. His 3rd and 4th round picks, all with superstar hits there. Now let's look at the left of the line. Tyrone Miles is there. Devon Campbell, superstar. At center, Ricky Mayfield, superstar. At right guard, Isaiah Jones is here, and at right tackle, Rick Santiago. So maybe he could have got another lineman just to get that superstar situation. We know what he looked like at DN. He picked up Yetur Gross out of free agency, so he got 2 superstar DNs, X-Factor DNs at that. Now, Gross is 30 years old. His that's going to drop, so that was a wasted pickup. Still got Fidel Diggs, and Landon Jackson's a solid speed rusher backup at D tackle. This is where he drafted at. He got Chauncey McCord, 6'5", right? And Kieran Redmond, 6'3". Now let's take a look at these guys. Trait guys. Again, first I want to see where they were drafted at. So his 2nd round pick was to the D tackle, pick 23. And then McCord maybe was his first overall pick in round 23, I think. There it go. All right, so I don't know why he went D tackle first, but this is what happened. He didn't actually pick his player. He set his board and slid. So when you're looking for a D tackle, you're going to pick the top 2 or 3 D tackles you want. And it just so happened to be because everybody else don't pick interior linemen that he was able to get both the D tackles he had on his board. And if he would have drafted, I can guarantee he wouldn't have did that. He wouldn't have got both of these guys. But you got them. So let's see what type of guys they got. Superstar. If he got 2 superstar D tackles, that's a win. He already won with the first one. Superstar. So this guy, without even drafting, setting his board and got 2 superstar D tackles. Both of these D tackles got enough speed to get moved to DN if they wanted to. So if I'm somebody and I need a DN on my team right now, I'm coming to see one of these guys with 95 strength and 90 strength right now. One has 90 block shed already. These are dogs. Now, my thing is he got 3 of them right now. Now, you don't have room to play these guys because Fidel Diggs is going to be on the field. You got Thibodeau who's going to be on the field. Yida Gross was just a wasted pickup. Just to pick him up just because. And then all 3 of your D tackles are superstars that can play. You're only going to have 4 down linemen unless you're doing some funky packages where you just play all 3 of these guys somehow. You need to be looking to trade some of these guys. And she wants to fucking vacuum right now. Ain't this a bitch? I apologize for the background. Wifey decided to come clean the fuck up. So anyway, I'll talk a little louder, but the Dolphins got, so far, he hasn't made a pick that wasn't a superstar. Fuck. We're talking about the 23rd pick of every round, he landed a superstar. How much of that is just luck of the draw?
That shit impressive, bro. Wow, this shit is fucking...
I mean...
To actually do that? Like
every pick.
Yes, that's impressive.
I'm looking for another rookie to see if he completed the cycle.
That's extremely impressive.
Alright, so every pick he made from rounds 1 to 4 was a superstar. But when you look at this team as a whole, I like the offense. I do like the offensive line. Defense, they got one of the best this team right now looks like the Washington football team front 4. They loaded at and they can go two deep at every position on the front 4 D line. Come on, man, I'm in the middle of a real talk. At linebacker, at 31 years old, Jerome Baker was the linebacker of the year. Honestly, like this guy was supposed to have been done on this team, but last year he went bonkers. If you look at the stats, he went crazy last year. 85 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, and an INT at linebacker. So this is one of the older guys that's not going to lose their traits, but he does got 2 good backups here. Right, then you look at the middle linebacker. All of us knew Dylan Moses, however you want to say it. I call him Dylan. They picked up Sean Murphy from last year with that speed, solid as hell. So they good at linebacker right now, very good at linebacker, right? TJ Dudley, superstar from last year's draft class. These guys are bad. Just throw something over here for me. You do something over here for me. So they solid as fuck at that linebacker position. And then at the cornerback, they got Martin Johnson, Deuce Chestnut, Ambry Thomas over here. They got Daylon Everett over here. They got a bunch of, look, Dante Jackson, he's definitely going to drop his trait. And so they good at corner, a little bit of too many corners. Maybe one of these guys can get moved to safety if they not. Nope, all of them too fast. Yep, so, and then you got the my pair, Tyron Collier still there, who's a dog. And then Dorian Caldwell, pretty solid with that 97 overall, 91 speed, 90 excel. So this Dolphin team is still looking good, and they look like they can fight for the division once again. They got better at spots. They got deeper. They can go too deep all the way across that defense. That entire defense, except for the safety position, they can go too deep. So I like this Dolphins team. I think this is the, I don't know if they got the better roster, him or the Bills. Mike's roster is pretty good, bro, but I do think this team is a step ahead of Mike's team. And then the last team in that division is the Jets. right? And while everybody tear the draft up, he wait for the 5th and 6th round or the 7th round. He like, I'm gonna tear this 7th round up this draft, right? Because that's all he got. Why? Because he trade for his players. So his best move was to have to really sit down and say, you know what, my style of play is dual threat quarterback. I need that's my second level of opening up my offense and going with a quarterback that could take off and run the football, right? So he was able to get Malik Willis from me, which in a way now was a bad decision for me because I didn't get the quarterback I thought I was going to get. Although I got a stud ass quarterback, I got the number 2 best quarterback in the draft. But Malik Willis comes over here and is an upgrade now. It sucks because Marcus Holmes has taken this team to the playoffs and won his division. He has division championships over here. For him to sit down for a younger, better quarterback at the end of the day. Malik Willis. So now you got a guy that you got to worry about. Not only you got to worry about Israel in the run game, you got a quarterback now that becomes a problem in a run game with that 96 speed, 96 excel. So you got to look at that as a draft pick. That was his first move of the offseason, right? So he gets the quarterback, and he comes out and he has a pretty good day for him. Let's go look at his first game and what he did over there. In his first game, 258 yards. 3 picks, got to turn that down. He did throw 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked once though, right? And then what he do in the run game? He didn't take off with him not once in the run game, but he got the dub. So that's all that matters. All right. So that's his first situation. He's turned AI. Yo, Ant Falk still on. Titan said, send it. I think they playing already.
Who he ready, man?
Yeah.
I sound sending it, man. That's motherfucker.
Yeah, he said send it in the chat. You go get Jamar Jefferson out of free agency, give you 3 deeps at the running back position. Kadarius Toney, to me, I always think is one of the better running back weapons in the league because he can play either or receiver or running back. I like Kadarius Toney, but AI is the alpha male over here. Let's just take a look at what he's done with him since he's had him. All right. Now he wasn't a bust for the Baltimore Ravens at all. Let's look at it. I mean, 1,774 yards, 18 touchdowns year 1, 1,394 in year 2. And then that 3rd year, before we traded him, he fell off because we got better at running back. We picked up Jamari Gibbs, and we activated Javonte Williams. Wasn't really playing for me the first 2 seasons. And then he became a fucking alpha male. So, for New York, the first season, we really didn't get much out of him. 23 carries, 49 yards, 2.1. I don't know what was the story here. Maybe he got him late that year. I don't know what happened. Why these numbers? He just didn't have the production. Then he goes for 142 carries. That's nowhere near the carries guys give their running backs, but he had 673, 4.7, 14 rushing touchdowns. And I think that was when he realized I got me a back now that I could do some things with them 14 touchdowns. And then after that, he started becoming a good player over here, and he had a fucking monster year last year. 353 carries. That's a lot of carries. That's up there around the top carriers in our league, like Nano or the Dolphins running back, shit like that, where they get our guys 300 carries a year. 23 touchdowns. He won AFC running back of the year. The numbers was there, and he did it a little bit out the passing game too. 46 catches in 27, 21, 35. Last year, 10 catches, 50 yards, 5 yards a catch. Because he was really getting it done in the run game. So they are completely solid at the running back right now with Kadarius Toney as a backup. So let's look at the receivers and see what we got over there. Boo McCoy, Theo Weiss, C.J. Williams, John Humph, and Naran Bunton. I like this Bunton guy. He got good size and he's on superstar. I think if I'm him though, with the emergence of I think if I'm him, I'm moving on. Damn, who fucking mic is that? Oh, that's Falk shit. I think if I'm him, Kadarius Toney, I might take a look at Kadarius Toney playing slot receiver for me and moving him to the slot versus him being number 2. Now, if you do that, you better go to somebody's roster that overdrafted running backs, and they got 5 of them on their roster right now, and go get you a solid number 2 running back from somebody's team. And if I was him, I would start with the team he always look at first, and go over there and go get him a backup running back and move Kadarius Toney to the slot receiver. I think that would be a dangerous situation with the two starters he got and him playing slot receiver. I think this is the year Kadarius Toney should be at wide receiver and not running back. Because he lost a really good receiver in free agency. So because of that, you had that guy on your roster already that you could replace him with, right? So you need to do that. That would be the move I would do. Kadarius Toney will go back to receiver this year, and he will be my number 3 receiver and my sub slot receiver. That's what he will be, and I will use him in the passing game that way. What's going on over here? Popeyes. Okay, baby, Popeyes. Fat boy shit. We take a time out for some fat boy shit. Fat boy shit. Alright. So yeah, I'm probably moving Kadarius Toney to the 3rd receiver over here. And it's the Boo McCoy, Theo Weiss, and Kadarius Toney show. Pro Wells at tight end, John Pruitt as a backup. Two tight ends with 90 speed or above, right? Solid as hell. Left tackle, superstar. Left guard, superstar. Center, superstar. Right guard, superstar. Right tackle, superstar. So 5 across the board. He on some superstar shit. Really good offensive line. And that's why you seen the running back AI numbers increase and how he was able to play with him this year, because that offensive line is great. Alright. So he took Billy Mann and traded with the Ravens and put his hand in the dirt, right? 90 speed, 92 acceleration. 6'7", 245. Well, he was a great outside linebacker for the Ravens, but he also could put his hand in the dirt and play down linemen. That's smart. Another ex-Raven, Sean Price, X-Factor. Solid there. At D-tackle, Nick Bosa got moved to D-tackle, and you still got Catrone Evans, who's growing up, already at 90 overall from Jackson State, that I like. So he's loaded on the D-line, especially at the starter positions. Ali Gale at linebacker, 90 speed, X-Factor. Patrick Queen over here on some X-Factor shit. Anthony Hines is a superstar, so he's loaded at linebacker and good speed. Owen Papo, 97 speed, 90 XL. Oh my God. And then you get to the secondary, you got Miles Jones, who stepped up, is playing pretty well. He goes and gets Trey Shaw, 96 speed, superstar, 97. You got Calvin Joseph on some superstar shit that he got from the Giants, and Marlon Humphreys comes back to him from the Titans, right? Now, he's 32 years old, but he hasn't dropped in nothing yet right now. Now, if his numbers is high, he'll stay there. But now you got 4 corners on abilities that you can do some things with. You want me to put one together for you or something? At the safety position, you're dealing with Brent English, who's been an animal for this guy. We picked up Allen Richardson, 6'3", 218. Huh? Nah. Oh, shit. Nope. And I was in fucking Kramer Hill, bro. We could have got them shit cheap as shit. Oh, my God. I'll go back out. Alright, so now you got a sub linebacker safety with 6'3", 218 out of the draft. Another one of those guys, superstar, 92 speed, 92 XL. Again, superstar, 90. Yep. So he won there, and this is a late pick, round 7. And this is his only draft pick of the draft because he traded for all his players. And then you go over here, Hufanga's still here, Fagan. And now Jalen Ramsey at 33 years old, because he dropped down to a 92 speed, can help out at the safety position. That means Hufanga can play in that sub linebacker spot, which he's comfortable with because he's played all outside linebacker for the Ravens his entire career. So now you got some pieces to move around. I think this is the more complete roster in this division, and you guys got to play against this team. So not only is the team playing good, the coach is playing at a higher level than any of the other coaches in this division. And he's been playing that way slowly. It's been coming together, and he's been playing that way for the last 3 seasons, to the point where he made himself a threat in the AFC now. At this point right now in the AFC, this is not one of those games you want on your schedule, because it's not a cakewalk at all. And as long as the coaching get better with this team, the wins get better. Simple as that. So I love the Jets over here. I do think they're going to win the division this year. And I do think they can make some type of noise in the playoffs. And this might be the first season where he get out of the first round of the playoffs. That's my look of this team. That's the AFC, man. The AFC East. The best rookie to come over in the AFC East, I think, was Julian Jones. I mean, I would say Najee Israel, but, you know, again, he's going to be wasted away on the graveyard spot. But Julian Jones was the best rookie that got picked up over here this draft. But the Dolphins had the better draft class out of any of them over here, flat out. You went on 4 superstars right away in your draft, and you picking at 23 every pick and got 4 superstars. You won. Simple as that. All right, fellas, that's the AFC East. I will be back on tonight, and I will break down the NFC North, and I will break down the NFC South, both teams tonight, on the next Real Talk. And here's the Franchise Guru out of here, you heard?